What's up, Facebook? What is up, Movement Mortgage? I'm Jake.
Are we having a tall off?
Yep, I'm Jake Failing. I'm having a tall off with Casey Crawford. We also got David King back in the building. David
took all the hair pressure off. I was having like hair envy, and then I looked over at David. I'm feeling better.
Exactly, but he makes it work, man. But no, David last time ran the Q&A for us, and it was awesome, and we're going to bring it back. So he's on there right now, looking at the live stream, looking at the questions and comments that are coming in. That's his phone. But seriously, right now in comments, post questions. We're going to go for probably 12 or 15 minutes, catch up with Casey. And and then David will feed us questions as well. So let's start with my new fancy shirt.
Woo!
Lot of talk,
making it look good too, Jake.
A lot of talk on social media. Hashtag Hearts for Houston shirt. It's fun to talk about a cool shirt, but at the end of the day, the reason that we put this shirt together and raised funds more than $70,000 was because of the devastation that happened in Houston, the cleanup that's going on in Irma right now. I mean, the weather is no joke. So let's start there. So we made this shirt. You went to Houston. Tell us about that trip down there. What did you experience? I mean, you were down there for a day. I know it was a roller coaster.
Yeah, no, it was really intense, really incredible. Went down there actually with Manny Ahome, who's the CEO of Samaritan's Feet, and one of our obviously distribution partners. We've given guys lots of shoes out around the world with Manny, and he had a distribution going on right in downtown Houston at the Civic Center. So we actually started our trip there just to go see downtown, see Houston. Man, we got to just sit and talk with and actually wash the feet of and give new shoes to a lot of folks who were displaced. They were currently homeless. We met families, entire families that were living in the Houston Civic Center because their homes have been devastated by the flood. That was an incredibly humbling experience. And we were out there with the really neat thing. We were serving alongside other movement team members who themselves had their homes devastated. So these are folks who had lost, just unbelievable amounts of personal treasures. You think about your house, all the pictures and just special things that are there. Man, they had lost a ton, but we're still able to come out and serve with Manny, with Samaritan's Feet, and us to really be with those that are struggling. And it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, and then so right after that, then you have Irma, and Irma comes through, and I think if you ask the people down there, I think a lot of them would say that they got a little lucky what the forecast was saying and what they were expecting. I mean, there was a ton of damage, don't get me wrong, and the cleanup has been horrible as well. But the stories that we've heard, Jonathan Garrick, I know, was one who up until, about an hour before the hurricane, the eye came through, he was helped, boarding up windows and things like that. So, talk a little bit about that. I know that we were giving up some beds for some of our team members. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
No, it's been incredible. Like, this community absolutely knocked it out of the park in all these crises. And that was really, down in Houston, the most encouraging thing I saw and heard over and over and over again were like these smiles, these hugs, in the midst of tears, recounting the devastation of the flood, but then going, man, and then my neighbor, stepped up and came by. And, we met with Debbie's team down there in Houston, and she got rescued by a flat-bottom boat out of her home. We get to sit in her home, check that all out. But then instead of going to safety, turned around, put her fiance back in that flat-bottom boat, and he went back out and for 20 straight hours was rescuing their neighbors all over this community in Houston. She told the story of actually coming underneath one of the telephone wires. The waters was so high that she had to duck to come under the telephone wires, the power wires in their neighborhood. And there was just this like spirit of community there. And I can tell you, man, your prayers, your thoughts, your care, your support, and man, those 3,291 t-shirts that were purchased were an incredible encouragement to the folks in Houston. And then, man, to watch Movement Community open up beds in the middle of Irma, we knew Irma was going to be an issue. Florida was getting evacuated, and immediately people all over the country going, what can we do? What can we do? How can we help? How can we care for our team members? We said, man, they need places to stay. We were overwhelmed with folks calling saying, you know what, I have an extra room. I have an extra bed. Anyone at Movement needs a bed, needs a room, tell them to call me. I have a place for them to stay, for them to be safe with them and their family. Man, that is what community should look like.
Right, and I'm probably going to drive you guys crazy. I don't know if you're mic'd up, but David sitting over here, watching that behind the scenes, watching the t-shirt get off the ground in 24 hours. Yeah. I started with a comment on Facebook, right?
It did, from Chris Blevins or Tony Ruff or both.
Yeah.
It was amazing. They asked for the t-shirt. Casey got brought into the conversation, and I think less than 12 hours it was up for sale.
David, who designed this thing, man?
What was Mandy Spear. Mandy Spear.
Mandy Spear, because I saw that logo. I think it was first a social graphic,
Yep.
and I saw, and yeah, somebody asked for a tee. I was like, man, can we do them with that graphic? Because I mean, it's obviously, and that's again, man, you guys commit to excellence in everything you do. It has exponential benefit and impact. You don't always know how that's going to play out, but that graphic, I mean, I think it's gone around the U.S. I've had folks from all over our industry and other industries reaching out, going, man, I love the tee, love what you guys are about, and they've been inspired to do similarly.
So again, post any questions or comments or shout outs wherever you are on Facebook. Dave, anything coming in yet?
No. Yes, but no.
Got it. We got a couple shout outs. All right, so let's move off the weather. Right now, our prayers are with everybody. Hurricane Maria is thrashing Puerto Rico. I mean, this is just no joke. It seems like this hurricane season has just been unbelievable. But let's move now to some exciting news here in movement. The Inc. 5000, congrats.
Yeah,
the Five Timers Club. I think like SNL, we got to put the purple robe on you.
Wait, somebody needs to ask David why it's not 6 times.
That's the next live stream.
We forgot to apply one time because you guys been in business 8 years, been growing like crazy. Why are you only 5-time winners? Well, you can't win until your 3rd year, right?
Right.
We
say
won
right,
for
like
2, then we forgot to apply.
Okay.
1 year, so we missed the
Must
year.
be
So
nice.
we would have had.
When you're just crushing
we had
it,
a good run.
when you're crushing it, you miss them every now and then. But then on the heels of that, you did a great podcast with our friend John Eads, and he also writes for Inc. And that really dovetailed nicely. He had, I'll make fun of him a little bit here. He had the most clickbaitish headline ever. He said, "This CEO leads with this 4-letter word." I'm like, really, John? but hey, people clicked on it. But it was love, Love.
Yeah.
So talk about that. I mean, again, you talk about in the podcast and in the article too. But that's what has really driven you over the years and does currently now at Movement as
Yeah,
well.
it's one of our 8 cultural statements is that love is a verb. It's not just a feeling. It's not just an emotion. It's not just a sentiment, but it needs to be manifested in action. And so we talk a lot about leading with love here, and that means to serve the folks we're with. I had a Catholic priest that actually said, give me a great definition of love. He said, love is acting in the long-term best interest of another. So acting in the long-term best interest of another. So we said, man, that can manifest itself in almost anything we do in business, right? Whether we're processing loans, whether we're serving our customers, our borrowers with great advice and counsel on their home mortgage, whether we're just interacting with our team members or we're at the house with our children, with our spouses, that love needs to not just be an emotion, but it needs to be a commitment to serve those around us with excellence, with all that we are, acting always in their long-term best interest. And yeah, it's been a powerful concept for us to talk about and to embrace here in the company. It's crazy because it's not a word that's used very much in business, but man, there's power in it. There's a great deal of power in it. And I think actually there's a lot of organizations that are missing out, not capitalizing on the power in the concept of love.
Yeah, and no, so again, the 4-letter word thing that kills me.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, but that was a good
Well
one.
done.
So thanks
Yeah.
to our friend John. All right, so for you though, I'm just interested. We joke about hey, we forgot to apply 1 year. Okay, but like, can you believe it? Do you ever sit back and go, good grief, man, 5 times in Inc. 5000? That's unbelievable.
Yeah. It is unbelievable. It's incredible, but it's. I do believe it because I look around at the quality of the team, that we've been a part of. I mean, I look at, sitting here with Dave, right? As much as I like to tease Dave, I mean, gosh, is there a better branding department in the world? I'd take the stuff that we do over, any company out there in the United States. I just think about the quality of the team and man, the passion that our team has invested into what we do. And man, in some ways, harken back to a Friday Night Lights sentiment. It's full eyes.
Oh wow, we're gonna do this.
Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose.
I was
man.
hoping you would keep
Can't
going with the
lose.
full eyes.
Full
because I
eyes,
was just
it's
gonna see
filling
how
up
far
with tears.
down
It's filling up with
off the
tears.
cliff.
Clear
Full eyes, empty
full
heart. No,
hearts.
that
Can't lose.
Yeah, okay. And
So I
then
think
we
we
gonna
got
spin
a
into
lot of
Riggins a
clarity
little
of
bit.
purpose. Oh,
Okay.
man, Tim Riggins.
All right.
Tim,
we should have always start with Tim Riggins. All right, completely. Let's now remove from the business. You just had a pretty cool vacation.
Yeah.
You went to Europe for about a week.
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
France.
Yeah. So,
First time.
I mean, one, I want to hear. Okay, where was your favorite stop? Did you have a favorite part of the trip?
Yeah.
Getting to exercise or having to exercise?
Having to
Sustainable time?
exercise, yeah. So went with Montel from the company here, and his wife Breeze, who is a fitness professional, and then my wife who dabbles in the sport as well. So yeah, the two of them,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, their ideas of travel vacation
Yeah.
workouts are.
I want to eat
a whole
like
different planet.
scones and like pastries. Is
Oh,
that what people
was
do?
my idea of a
Yeah.
workout.
Okay. Got
like
it.
how many croissants can we eat for breakfast?
You said that with an accent.
Oh, croissants.
Mm.
Yes, they were fantastic.
Okay.
But no, it was really actually was incredible, and of course, my mind never gets very far from movement while we were over there. And one thing I was really struck by in Europe, it's so much older, right? The United
Right.
States, and you really appreciate that in a country like France, where you're visiting structures, from 1100, 1200, and I visited Notre Dame actually, right in Paris. And we went in there really early one morning, and they were ringing the bells, and the nuns were doing their chanting. And I remember, looking around to Michelle, and just was kind of like struck reading the wall that it took 200 years to build the foundation of that church. Another, I think, 100 or so years to begin to complete the structure. Man, this is a building. The building itself took 300 years to construct. So the guys that had the vision for this thing never even saw the foundation completed. Yet because they had a vision that was like to really bless that community in a transcendent manner, for the next 1,000 years, there's a structure there that was being used for the originally intended purposes, which was to draw people closer to God and give them a place to worship. And I was really encouraged by Movement Foundation's focus of owning real estate and making sure that it is purposed to love our neighbors as ourselves, to love the marginalized, and to glorify God in that. And I said, man, because we own that real estate, we can intend for generations actually that piece of ground, that property be used for its intended purpose. And Notre Dame sits with some of the most valuable real estate in the world, and for over 1,000 years has been used for the same thing. And that just struck me, kind of overwhelmed me. I was like, wow, what would it look like, man, if some of our, if our schools, if our community centers, some of the projects that we're rolling out right now, 1,000 years from now, 500 years from now, are still being used to love people that are marginalized in society. Man, I love that idea, and hope to proliferate something like that.
Yeah, you were sending me notes throughout the vacation of, seeing something that was built or reminding you of building a business or so on and so on, like all these different examples throughout Europe. And to step away from that and kind of look at it from a different perspective, how do you unplug? Like, what does that look like for you when you run a company? So, again, you could be a mid-level manager, you could be an executive at a company, you could just be an entry-level position right out of school, and there's always a conversation around work-life balance. Yep. And, if you've got a spouse who's like, we're at the beach, get off your computer, that type thing, or whatever. Where do you draw the line? Do you just put the phone away?
No. I think for me, it's much more about kind of integration, like having an integrated life, not one that stops, or where I stop my work at a certain time. I went on vacation with the guy I work with, right? Like Montel's one of my best friends, and he's a guy I love to go on vacation with, and we work together all the time also, right? I see you every now and then outside of work.
Every now and then.
And, I think we're really fortunate around here to enjoy some incredible friendships that we get to go to work with every day. And so for me, actually, that is a way to unplug, right? When I actually enjoy the people I'm working with, I'm not trying to get away from them or from those relationships in my downtime. Sometimes it's just a shift of focus. Sometimes you don't want to talk about FHA FICO scores, and you want to kind of unplug with those same people in another activity. And that's really what it is for me. So it's not necessarily turning off the phone. It's sometimes it's just changing the context, man. Like getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of the same four walls, going to a place like France, seeing something totally different, experiencing a completely different culture, and maybe having a broader perspective to bring back here to think about what we do. Because frankly, I love this place. I love what we do every day. I believe it or not, really look forward to Monday mornings on Sunday evening. I can't wait to get back here because of so many of the folks that we're here doing life and business with.
Cool. I'm going to check back in with Dave.
Yeah, a little bit of comic relief, maybe. Tons of comments, only one question.
What are the comments?
What do you have to say?
Nice shirt. Fix your hair.
Anthony Grell.
No one told you to fix your hair, Jake. It's all right.
Anthony
Yeah,
Grell
you're
just
right.
texted me about an hour ago about our CRM for our loan officers, and now he's turned to saying, does Jake get his hair cut at a salon or a barbershop?
Yes.
People want to know.
No, I'm super excited to answer this because for like 4 years, it was a salon. I'm going to own it for like 4 or 5 years, a salon. The last 2 have been at a barbershop. I think, what are you doing? Stop making that face. The last 2 have been at a
back. I think it looks great.
I'm super
You
pleased.
should be pleased.
I'm
man.
very pleased.
You get like a little silver fox thing going on.
Okay,
now.
well,
No.
we didn't.
It's looking
no,
good. I
Thank
like
you.
it. In the back,
Thanks.
it's
The back's even. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments?
You can say hi to a couple people. Breeze joined.
Hey! What's up, Breeze?
Donna
Thanks for those
Bowling,
workouts.
Mountain Knoxville. My very own realtor, Sarah Rakowski, right here in Charlotte. So got some people joining, lots of people joining.
Been working with
Cool.
Sarah for years.
Cool. All right, we're going to end with one more question from me. And we didn't prep for this one, so you better be ready. No, all right. So we're talking about what the next video and things like that are going to look like in October, which means we're getting into Q4. So nothing specific, but just in general, as the leader of a company, when you head into Q4, and for us, we've got the Christmas parties; those are all great.
We do December up.
Yeah, I was going to say December's great, but
December's
just
big.
for you, just in general, as you head into the end of a year, do you get like we got to close strong? Does that mentality hit you, or what does it feel like for you when you head into Q4 every year?
Yeah, no, I actually love Q4 because I love Thanksgiving and I love Christmas and I love our Christmas parties. And I know we are going to get together and celebrate like crazy. And every single year I go, man, it couldn't get better than this. Like, I can't believe it. This year we got to, open up a school. I was able to purchase a bank. We were able to do like incredible things. We grew as a mortgage company in the face of a, contracting market. Like, there's just incredible stories every single year. And I go, wow, I can't wait to get together with everybody in December and celebrate that. And I know that, right now already regionals and national sales directors and our community leaders are already planning for unbelievable things in 2018. And so, there's this kind of eagerness, right, to start the race of 2018. It's like, man, 2017 was incredible. Let's celebrate like crazy, and I can't wait till Jan 1 so we can get rocking on 2018 and see kind of what God has in store.
Cut right now to all of the loan officers and market leaders watching this, guys, let's call
plans,
2018 meeting,
Yeah.
everybody into the boardroom. No, Facebook movement, thanks for joining us. Dave, thank you. Casey, thank you. We got the team back here rocking. See you next month for the next Coffee with Casey live stream. Thanks.